I just wanted to jump in here real quick and try to explain some of the chaos that you're seeing. We're doing a SpecE46 build. The donor is a 2002 330 Ci that I used to campaign in SDCA Time Trial Nationals Sport 4. Back at Nationals in 2019, we blew the motor up. The oil pump sprocket came loose from the shaft and we lost oil pressure on track and nuked the motor. Fairly common issue with these, unfortunately. It sat for about a year, then we went ahead and stripped everything off the car, glass, interior. We took the wiring harness out and sent it over to Kevin Toulet at Toulet Wireworks, who did a fantastic job. Once we got it stripped out and painted on the inside, we sent it up to McMahon Autosport in Akron and had a really nice cage put in. He did a great job on that as well. Then it sat for probably another year, and then fall of 2022 we decided to see if we can get the motor in and get it started before we put it away for winter, and we were successful with that. There's a short video about that on the channel if you want to check it out. And what we're doing today is getting the car basically like from 40% complete up to about 90% complete. We started under the hood and replaced the idle control valve and the MAF sensor to try to even out that idling a little bit, and it worked. You'll see at the end of the video. And then we went ahead and added a brake pressure sensor, installed the fuel sample kit, and put the endurance fuel pump so we can not have fuel starve on those long right-handers. For the steering system, we replaced the tie rods to make it easier to adjust because the old ones were rusted out. And then we did a power steering overhaul by replacing all the lines and then upgrading to a Turner reservoir that's baffled. It should no longer spray inside the engine bay under hard cornering. And for the cooling system, we put the new radiator in, all aluminum, and did the radiator mount upgrade and replaced the coolant hoses and fittings. While we were in the suspension, we put the full spec suspension on and changed out the differential mounts and subframe mounts to make those a little stiffer. As far as safety goes, we mapped out where the fire system's going to go and did some preliminary belting so we know where the fabricator needs to put the eye hooks for the lap belts. And finally, we added a full-time transponder that's wired into the car so it's always on and we'll never lose a lap. The group of guys you see here are a fantastic group of Pittsburgh racers that came out to help push the build weekend in the middle of February. My stepdad James owns the garage and he was nice enough to work with us all weekend long. My brother Brandon came out to help with the wiring and did some other wrenching for us. Mario, Tyler, Dan, Chris, and Oos are all fantastic racers and good wrenches in their own right, and it's very, very clear to see that it would have taken me the rest of this calendar year to do the work that these guys did in one weekend, so I am just immensely grateful for them. They have their own race cars, they have their own families, they could have stayed home and worked towards those goals. Instead, they came out and helped with my goal, and I really appreciate that, guys, so thank you very much. The next step is to get this car out to our fabricator, Nate Churchill at Misfit Auto Works, so we can get some finishing touches put on, and we look to be ready to be on track by the end of April. Got to get it a logbook and got to get some testing in there to make sure it's good to go, and we want to be racing by midsummer. So I look forward to seeing y'all out there. Thanks. Hey, I just want to jump in again real fast and say that the moment when this car's tires hit the garage floor and settles on the suspension for the first time is the moment that it became a race car for me, and it's kind of the exact culmination of several years worth of planning and work that it finally came together all at once. So I just wanted to say that although in the video I don't look as emotive and happy and jump up and down excited as I could, it was the end of an exhausting weekend, and inside I was just jumping up and down.
Although that looks pretty far up in, or that looks like stock.
Back looks great.